earlier this week, Canadian grunge rock duo Death From Above 1979 released their second studio-length album. Here's why you should give a fuck. Okay, now before I get into their new album, let me just talk about this band for a second. It's a bass player and a drummer, and that's it. You listen to this band and it sounds like a four-piece rock band, but it's not. What they can do with their sound is really unmatched, and you're hearing a lot of things that sound like it nowadays, but they were doing this 10, 12 years ago. In 2002, they released a 6-track EP called Heads Up. Now out of that they got funding and they got signed to Last King Records and they released their 2004 full-length album called You're a Woman, I'm a Machine. So probably one of the coolest videos on the internet is when Death From Above played on Conan back in 2005.
Don't need you, want you, don't need you, want you.
And then Max Weinberg came down and he started playing on the drums. Just kill the spider. Fuck you. Now, only 2 years after the release of that full-length album, they broke up. They had a huge fan base, and I'm sure they knew that, but it wasn't enough to keep them together. So whatever reason they broke up, like they couldn't get along, they couldn't talk, they were whatever, the bass player, Jesse, he went on and did Mastercraft, and you might have heard of them, and Sebastian Granger did his own thing for a little bit, but in about 2010, they decided to kind of semi-reunite, more like raise from the grave, and they decided to do a couple shows. Now what they discovered was that there was actually a pretty high demand for them. They did it as a bit of an experiment, as they said in an interview with 102 The Edge, and they were shocked by the amount of response that they got. I saw them on this tour at the Commodore in 2011. I have their show poster right here. I stole it. So earlier in this year, they started releasing kind of cryptic things, saying maybe they might be getting back together, and all that stuff. And then in July, they released their first single, Trainwreck 1979. It's a little bit poppier, but it's definitely DFA. Okay, so let's fast forward, or rewind, whatever, to Tuesday. I get an email from HMV. Yes, I still buy hard copy CDs. And it said, hey, that pre-order for the DFA album came in, come in now. And I looked at it, and I squeed, and I peed my pants a little bit. I got in my car, went over to HMV, and I picked it up, and I listened to it about 3 times. And I was confused. There's a lot of songs that make me think, oh shit, these guys have not changed a bit. But there's also just as many songs that I listen to, and I think these guys don't know how to talk to each other. There's this disconnect between the vocals and the bass that wasn't there before, and I don't know what it is. So I was thinking, what is it? Do they hate each other? Do they not know how to play anymore? And then last night they played on the David Letterman show, and this happened. Yeah, not great. And then I started doing some digging, and this was them last year at a festival. When you look at them play live, they are not the band that they were, and I'm not even commenting on Sebastian's vocals. I mean, he's 10 years older. I can't expect them to be where they were, but they're not the band that they were 10 years ago. They don't look like they're having fun. That was what was so good about Death From Above. You listen to their album, you're like, these guys don't give a fuck. But now you listen to their new shit, and you're like, these guys kind of want me to like them, and I don't know if they give too much of a fuck now. I'm worried for their future. I'm like a mom.
Why don't you just be yourself, honey?
These guys here, they're my babies, and I want to make sure that their beards are groomed and no one's picking on them, and they have a girlfriend in school.
What?
So that's just what I think. Listen to the album, judge for yourself, and let me know. Put your comments down below, and what else should I talk about? I don't know, I'm in a mood to talk. I'm a fucking narcissist. Deal with it. Bye. Goodbye.
Why don't you leave me? She asked at night. I said I'll see you.
but I'm kind of in love with this album. I can't stop listening to it. I can't be mad.